Best of Everything. I am Ruben Paul, and across from me is my I was gonna say annoying brother, but I'm not. You know,
yeah, that's okay.
Okay, you are annoying.
Whatever.
I love you though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, my annoying brother from a Portuguese mother.
Oh, that I thought you were leaving that out.
Oh, so you thought we were gonna switch?
I was okay with annoying,
but
because
not
I thought
the Portuguese.
you moved on.
I'm never gonna let the Portuguese go, just so you know.
Well, it is who I am.
It is who you are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
but you're just mad because
I just feel betrayed. I feel a little bit betrayed.
I get you,
because I thought it was the black and brown. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, now we got to go do what?
Are Portuguese brown?
Some of them are. Yeah, some of them get dark like me.
Okay.
What? I'm dark. I'm brown. I'm brown, dude.
Yeah,
I give you a run for the money.
No,
your money.
It's whatever the cops say you are. That's what color
you are.
Well,
considering I get pulled over all the time and thrown on the ground, I get what do you say? Turn that stuff off.
I'm sorry, dude.
Have you guys noticed, for those of you who watch, have you guys noticed whenever I start talking,
I check out.
You check out, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I see it in the promos too.
Yeah.
I'll start talking, and then all of a sudden you get your phone. He's like, I don't need to worry about anything right now. Hey, what's up, dude? Johnny going on and on. Emoji with the ears. Emoji with the ears. Emoji with the ears.
How is your mesothelioma?
Quit saying that.
What?
You're gonna regret saying that.
Why?
That's a serious cancer disease.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry.
Mesothelioma. Yeah. I'm talking about misophonia.
Oh, that's what you have. I'm sorry. My
apologies. You know
apologies.
exactly what it is.
What?
Just remember that he keeps saying this to me.
All right,
everybody.
I'm sorry, dude. All right, how's your misophonia doing?
Well,
did I say it correctly? Misophonia? Like you miss a phone?
It's like you missed something, or it's like
misophonia.
Misophonia.
Yeah. And could you tell, for the people who are listening for the first time, what your condition is?
Yeah, it's a sensitivity to certain sounds.
It's so ridiculous.
Now, it has actually nothing to do with really hearing, because people who have bad hearing can still have misophonia. It's how the brain reacts to certain noises, smacking, that kind of stuff.
That drives you crazy?
Things like, a barking dog.
But you know what? I got to be
somebody
honest.
talking to somebody with a really high voice at a restaurant. And get this, dude. My dad and I, we were having dinner at this one place, and there was this dude, a table a little ways away.
Don't tell me your dad has it too.
I think that's where I got it from. Because my dad kept going.
You were turning into your dad.
He's like, day by day. Turning around, and then I kept looking over at this guy. And then finally I was like, are you hearing what And then my dad's like, yeah, that guy's voice is annoying. We couldn't focus on the dinner. You know what I mean? It's like he had this and he was a little flamboyant too. On top of
you're a mess,
he's a
man.
Latino dude. He's all, he had this really no, I know, yeah, I know, and it just cut through my brain, dude.
I can't, Johnny.
I can't, Johnny.
It's your dad. I can't do it. Let's get it to go. Let's get it to go.
He was getting mad. He was getting mad. There was this black dude on. My mom loves
black people. Is that what you're about to say?
My
mom loves black people.
My mom loves that show. Funny you should ask. The Byron Allen show. Where
I've never seen it. But
okay,
yeah.
She loves it.
Really,
Louis Anderson's on there. Love it.
So that's who their demo is. Your mom.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And they rotate the comics. It's a lot it's basically what they did with that show. I realized afterwards, because you have to ask a question to the celebrity.
Isn't it like a Hollywood Squares type of
It's
film?
just a reboot of the Hollywood. It's give me the same thing, only different.
Yeah.
It's the Hollywood Squares, but now they're just sitting right in front of you. They're not in a big box and you're not playing tic-tac-toe. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So she loves it, man. And anyway, we're all watching it.
When does it come on?
It's like 2:30 over there in Tulare.
In the afternoon?
In the afternoon.
Oh, that's
because
perfect.
it's syndicated, right?
Uh-huh.
So one of the contestants is this black dude who's a professional dancer. And every time he'd get an answer right, he'd start doing a little pop and it was pissing my dad off. Because he'd go, he's not even doing it right. And I was like, I'm thinking it's pretty good, but I'm not going to say anything.
No,
right?
you can't argue with your
His
dad.
pop locking was pretty good. And then he'd get another
He's
answer.
a professional dancer, and your dad is saying he's not doing it right.
Right. Because, my dad was so good back in the 50s that he's comparing his style. So then later, every
Your dad,
answer,
man.
dude, every answer, then the guy, he'd start going like this. The dude would go like this. My dad go, oh, and he would literally he was getting
Angry?
seriously angry. Like I turned at him and then I'm looking at him. He goes, come on already. You said you dance. You dance. We don't care. And
Your
I
dad,
finally,
dude.
towards the end, dude, I started laughing. And then he goes, what's wrong? I go, you're mad that he's dancing. Nobody ever gets mad at anybody.
Dancing is just such a happy. You never really see people dance angry. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dancing is a happy
activity.
You know,
When you were going up against somebody back in my break dancing and popping days, somebody called you out.
I know you never went against any black people.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Who do you think I was turning out the whole time?
Against other Mexicans.
You want some Shoeless Joe Jackson? How about you, Billy Brown? You want some of this?
Shoeless Joe Jackson?
How about you, the
Really?
Edwards brothers?
Really?
How about the Williams brothers?
Really? You
Yeah.
named all the black people in your community just that quickly. Shoeless Joe Jackson?
Well, we would joke around with him.
You mean you'd ridicule him? You'd ridicule him?
What? His name was Joe Jackson.
I'm really disappointed now
Shoeless
that you
Joe Jackson.
guys.
Remember the baseball player? Shoeless
Yeah,
Joe
I do.
Jackson?
That feels a little racist, Johnny, to be honest.
How is
with you.
that?
'Cause
Anyway.
I'm sure his name wasn't Joe.
Yeah, it was Joe Jackson. His name was Joe Jackson. So we called him Shoeless Joe Jackson.
All right, I'll let that slide.
Yeah, his name is Joe Jack. That's his name.
Okay.
Or you think he just had the Jackson last name?
I
made
thought
up
I thought his name was like Byron, and you just called him Shoeless Joe Jackson.
No, his name was Joe Jackson.
Okay,
So we
I'll
called
let
him
that
Shoeless
slide.
Joe Jackson.
Okay,
You
all
know?
right, I'll let that go.
And then he, of course, you could tell it bothered him, but we didn't care.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
He'd
it
be
did
all,
bother
man,
him.
Man, come on, man. Come on, man.
why are you doing his voice like that?
And
I'm
also,
getting sick of that black voice, by the way, just so you know. We got to upgrade your black voice, because your black voice is from the 70s, dude.
oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What up? What up, cuh?
All right.
You
now-
good, cuh? You good, bro? Now that's 2019.
Nah, 20, it's like
Anyway.
2008.
Oh.
It's like 2008.
Yo, man, we gonna do this. Y'all motherfucker, we gonna do this.
What's wrong with you, dude?
Hey, remember I said you used to do that?
Oh my
You used to do that in your stand-up. Remember you used to do that extra breathing at the end? You don't, no, not that,
That
one.
one? Which one?
You would just deliver, and for some reason, I don't know if it was a tick. You don't do it like anymore, but you would just be like, you would do, I'm trying to think of a bit, but
A bit what?
like on a lot of the stuff that you were just talking about, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you an example. I'd just say something like, she's a detective,"
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, you know she's gonna find out something. She a detective." You used to go. You don't remember?
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
we'll have to find some YouTube clips.
All right.
Anyway, let's get back on.
Let's
what
get
we
back
were
to your dad being annoyed about everything and the fact that
So he was upset the whole time.
But you guys
watching.
share that in common.
I didn't have a problem with the dude dancing.
No, but you like Johnny gets you get annoyed by everything.
Well, I mean, but I keep it to myself.
No, you don't.
I don't?
No. No, you'll either let me know or you'll let the person know at some point. You might not come around. You're like, hey, and then you'll tell them what annoys you, which is not always the best trait to have, because when people see you coming, it's like, oh shit, what did I do?
But yeah, that's true. Remember that time I walked into the Laugh Factory Long Beach, and I went into the office, and you and Eleanor Kerrigan, whisper out to Eleanor Kerrigan,
Shout out to Eleanor.
whisper out to Eleanor Kerrigan.
Shout
And
out
as
to
soon
Eleanor
as I
Kerrigan.
walk, you guys at the same time, you guys saw me walk into the office. I didn't see you guys. I went straight
Yeah,
in,
we saw
and
you.
both of you went, oh. And then the two of you started laughing because you had the same
we
thought.
just know as soon as you come, you're gonna complain about something. Like, what time did we start tonight?
Yeah.
Why is he still on? Okay, so all right, so basically we're behind, and then it's like, yeah,
And
dude.
what's the thermostat set at?
Yeah,
Because I'm burning up right now. That's how I would.
yeah. As soon as you walk in,
Mm-hmm.
So you know, like when you walk in like that, it doesn't get people excited to see you coming.
I don't know, man. Sure,
It's
there's
like
a lot of big smiles, and when I come walking in, I don't know about you, but a lot of big smiles when I come walking in.
I think they're fake smiles. Like, oh shit, here comes Johnny again. They're talking shit through their smile. Here comes this motherfucker. Hey,
like,
Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. I'm like, all right, man. Is that the same coat you wore last week? It doesn't look the same. That's what I say to him. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, dude.
All right, so we were going to talk about what we start. What did we
were
start
talking
with?
about a lot of stuff. We were talking about Andrew Luck just retiring.
Yeah,
At 29 years old, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, I didn't realize he was that young.
Oh yeah.
He looks 35.
Well,
36.
Some white people aged.
No, I just think it's like that. I mean, even remember him when he played in Stanford? It was like he looked older than even then. To me, he looked a little older for a college guy. But it could be the beard and everything. You know, he always has a beard. But I thought he was a little bit older than that.
Do you know what makes me laugh? This is kind of off the subject, but have you ever met somebody who's like way younger than you, and they be like, "You old," and like, "Motherfucker, you look my age."
Nobody has said anything about you being younger than me in the photos.
Exactly.
Oh, who's your young friend?
Yeah.
No, they're just like, oh, who's your high school buddy?
It is like, to me, that's worse. I'd rather be older and look younger than being younger and look like it's.
Yeah. Oh,
yo,
of
man,
course.
I met this lady at the doctor's office, and she was, I think she was like 32. Legit thought she was like 55.
Oh man,
I was like, whoa! Like,
but did she go through like some?
I don't know what it was.
Alcohol or drugs or something?
I don't know. Like, obviously there's lifestyle things that probably causes
Smoking
you to age and everything. It was just weird. But I've met a lot of, people like that. You know what I mean? It's just always, it's a little jarring sometimes, when you meet somebody and you just have a number in your head. You just automatically go, oh, you're,
he's got to be 40 something.
Yeah. And then they go, wait a minute. And like, because you're 28. You know what I mean?
By the way, you and I have texted each other every now and then going, hey, dude, did you know so-and-so is only 31?
And we'd be like,
what? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
and then I'll send you one someday going, hey, man, did you know? What? And we're assuming that this person is like right within 5 years of us or something.
Yeah.
And they look way older.
Yeah.
In their
life, man. Life wears you down, dude. That's why it's important to take care of yourself. And then sometimes it's just genetics.
Well, that's a big thing too.
Genetics is a huge part of it. And I don't know if it's, there's always a running joke in comedy how, you see a black person, you go, how old are you? You know what I mean? And they're just, they look 50, super young.
52, but they're
like 90. You know what I mean? Like even my godfather before he passed, man, once he got sick, like he aged rapidly, which was crazy because he had looked young his whole entire life. And he was in his 70s and he looked 52. Like he looked like he was in his 50s. He was in fantastic shape, good looking dude. You know what I mean? Just active. Like you'd never, when people found out how old he was, him and my God, people they were shocked when they were like, whoa. I remember one of the first hospital visits, one of the nurses came in and had his chart. And then she looked at me and she goes, is this accurate? I go, what do you mean? He's like, when she said his age at the time. I go, yeah. And she goes, oh my God, I would have never thought that. But then as time went on, being in the hospital and just like, I just wonder if a lot of that is connected to, obviously probably the medications and different stuff like that he was probably under, but just the stress of not feeling well and stuff like that. I'm sure that has a large effect on.
Yeah, because you see it happen when people start getting ill, man, and they're getting things done sometimes in treatments or whatever. I think on top of what they're going through, and then a lot of them, their eating changes and they may not have an appetite. Some people get sick and then they start dropping weight fast, man, and then that changes their appearance.
And in our business, one thing is, there's a lot of ageism in our business. And I particularly feel for women in our industry because guys, like Harrison Ford, who's in his 70s, right? But if he does a movie, his love interest is going to be 30s or 40s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you never see the reverse for women.
Right.
And that's why it's tough. Like you see all these actresses, I know me and you have talked, like, hey, whatever happened to blah, 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 this actress? And then you realize like, oh, they're all in their 40s now. They're not the young co-star love interest to the, you know, the main star. Yeah. They're being replaced by the 20-year-olds. And that's has to, being a woman in this business is tough.
Look at the handful of women who have been able to age and sustain it.
Meryl Streep is one that comes to mind.
Julianne Moore.
Yes.
So, you know, what's her name? Mary. I mean, she's really been
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren, dude. But those are the ones that they always use as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where are the other ones that, you know?
But here's the thing, and this is no knock to Meryl Streep or Helen Mirren, you know, but there were more character type actors, meaning they weren't like the bombshell.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
And it's different when you're being cast as the hot. Yeah, you know, I think Julia Roberts has been interesting because at that point when she was being casted, she was
the new hot romantic comedy
lead. Exactly.
Yeah, the new.
And I think her career, you know, sometimes you wonder, are people working less by choice, or are they working less because of lack of opportunities? I remember Denzel years ago, I think it was on 60 Minutes, and they were talking to him. He had just won an Oscar, one of his Oscars, and he was just saying that he wasn't getting the offers. You know, a lot of his white counterparts, when they win an Oscar, like the movie parts would flood in, and he wasn't getting those same opportunities. Where the public might have thought, like, oh, maybe he's taking a break, or he doesn't want to do anything.
They just weren't coming
around.
Like,
no, it's not like, you know, people are knocking down my door, you know, with scripts as they should have during that time. But I always think about, it's tough for women in this business.
So tough
to age, man.
And sometimes it happens, you know, when they're in their 30s. You know, they're the bombshell in the 20s, and and literally the 30s come around and they just start getting less and less.
Remember, like Elizabeth Shue.
Oh God, loved her, man.
Yeah, see, like we're talking about her in the past tense. It's not. I'm sure there's still a lot of actresses are still working
here and there.
You know what
but
I mean?
they're not in the main.
Yeah, it's so interesting how that happens, and it's solely.
She was so good, man. I liked her.
A lot of great actresses that you'll see and pop up and stuff and go, oh man, I remember. I'm gonna drop a name on you, man. Meg Ryan.
Right. Oh, I almost said her after you said Julie.
Dude, remember Meg Ryan? Whatever happened to Meg Ryan?
She's back in the back around. I think she just did something recently.
Yeah.
But you know, she had some work done, and when she showed up a couple of years ago, everybody was just like, it doesn't look like her. You know what I mean?
Dude. So, and that's what I was gonna lead into also. With the pressure of looking young for women, you know, there's a lot of them getting work done.
And it's too extreme.
It's too extreme.
That they got that lizard look.
And
that makes me then I think, well, maybe, you know, Sam Tripoli's right. Maybe there's half the people are a bunch of lizards. Whisper out to Sam Tripoli, by the way.
Shout out Sam Tripoli. I don't know, Johnny. It's just, I feel bad when I see.
You can't keep saying shout out when I say whisper out. You can say it later, but don't do it right after I say it. That's totally, you're doing that on purpose.
What?
That's my own thing. I'm not competing with you. I'm not trying to keep.
You got it because I was saying shout out, so you went against me to say whisper out. What the hell are you talking about? That's your thing. You did it to get on my nerves. That's why you did it. So I'm not gonna just let it go.
I've been saying that since 6th grade, bro.
Oh my God, stop it.
Nobody could hear me because back then I literally went whisper out.
Oh, geez.
Mr. Anderson. Whisper out to Mr. Anderson, my teacher. Anyway, all right, but yeah.
Hate is a strong word. I don't hate you. But damn, Johnny. Like sometimes,
How about you?
You're my boy. You know I would do anything for you. You know that. But you're annoying.
I don't like the way you did that right there.
You know, what do you mean?
Well, because that black voice sounded just like my black voice.
What?
Right now you're like, I mean, you my boy. And all of a sudden it changed. And it sounded just like the black guy I do. But yet you don't like the black voice I do. But when you do it, when you get all
I'm black.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it's my voice.
But when you're like,
it's not a black voice when you're black. It's my
but
voice.
It wasn't your voice. It was a little more urban.
Oh,
it was a little
my
hip hoppy.
God.
It was
a little hip hoppy, urban
you,
and hip hoppy. Really?
Yeah.
Are you painting me with
went,
that brush?
You went like, really?
Yeah, man.
Oh God, who said that to you this last weekend?
No, I'm just saying, dude.
I feel like you just heard that from somebody.
For you to come out of the blue.
Somebody was just like, "You gonna paint me with that brush?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna start using that."
Oh, jeez.
Anyway,
can we get back to the lizard people? That's fucked up. No, but that's why it's so much pressure, and you see a lot of women like getting work done, and even the scrutiny on their weight. You know what I mean?
Ugh, it's brutal.
It's a tough biz, and you would hope that film and television, which we know it doesn't, and it should reflect real life.
Yeah,
like people should. That's why it's always interesting and cool when you'll see like a heavy actress like become big, like Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah,
people like that, because it's like they're normal women,
Yeah.
and now plus size women can look at somebody like that and see them as beautiful.
The girl
and funny.
on This Is Us.
This Is Us.
Yeah.
You need Gabrielle Sidibe.
Oh yeah,
Precious.
Sidibe, Precious.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
It's like people made such a big deal, but when
Yeah.
Lee Daniels casted her in Precious, there's a lot of big women out there,
Yeah.
and if you're telling stories, you need to, like, everyone can't be, look like a model, like they just came out of Vogue magazine
Yeah.
or whatever. But if you look at the shows, like even, how Friends used to get criticized, and how Woody Allen's movies used to get criticized, like you're in New York City, but there's not one black person who even walks by as an extra.
Yeah, not even
like
an
that's
extra.
not even reflective of what life is. And I just think film and television, we owe it to society, even though it's been one way for so long, just to show real images. Like everybody's not perfect. If you're telling stories, that's why like Steve Buscemi, there's always been people to come through and have those looks, and they always get casted for the funny looking friend or the funny looking guy or the strange guy, when there's millions of people out there that are walking around that are not handsome.
Yeah.
Cover
you know who
guys,
else falls in that
women.
with Buscemi? Paul Giamatti
Yes.
is another one. There's a few of those guys.
Yeah.
They're
never the leading man or the love interest or whatever.
They
because we
work,
stereotype.
man.
They work.
But they work
as the funny looking person.
And then even what's his name? The Latino guy, the short, chubby guy, Puerto Rican, real New York, very New Yorican. He was in Carlito's Way.
Guzman.
Luis
Yeah.
Guzman.
He did Ruby Tuesday. Shout out Luis Guzman. He does stand up every once in a while.
I've done. We've done some shows. I did one at the Laugh Factory once. He was on the lineup.
Was that my show? That might have been my show.
No. This was a different. This was when he was first coming around, like doing.
And by the way, when are you going to come back and do the show? People have been asking, man.
I'm putting together a whole new Ruby Tuesday set, so I'll let you know when it's ready.
Dude,
I'll let you know when it's ready. And everybody out there, you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be all Portuguese stuff.
No,
but huh?
We don't want that.
Epa,
we book Mexican Johnny.
Ah, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
This guy, caray. All right.
So that our two Portuguese listeners are cracking up right now.
Yeah, one in mainland Portugal and the other one in the Azores.
There's really two?
There's two. I told you. They gave me a whisper out from Portugal and the Azores.
They said whisper out?
They were, I'll go and whisper out from here in Portugal. Epa. And then the other guy goes, hey, man, whisper out here from the Azores. Epa.
You made them say whisper out?
No, they heard me doing my thing.
So to the guy in the Azores and to the guy in Portugal?
Mainland Portugal.
Whisper out is not the proper term.
They know that.
No, they don't.
No.
They
what do you think? They're like fishermen.
They're not shout out is a very American thing.
But they know that
and it's
already.
a very Black American thing.
Like Black Portuguese. These guys could be Black Portuguese. I don't even know.
They could.
There's a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, Johnny. I'm just trying to say that whisper out is not the proper phrase. It's shout out. They don't know you're being an asshole.
Well, nothing. No. Nothing is set in stone that this is the proper and this is the, that's why I do whisper out, because I've heard shout out for so long. It's like, can we change it up finally? We're almost 2020 and we're people still yelling out shout out, and yet nobody's shouting. But nobody's shouting. They're just all,
That's
hey,
not-
man, I'm gonna
that-
shout out
Johnny,
to
Johnny.
where you should be going
Johnny,
like this.
that's our.
Shout out Portugal and shout out Azores. That's what you should. That's how you should be saying it.
You're so fucking.
All
You're
right.
ridiculous.
Anyway,
dude.
but they do know what shout out is, and these are the two guys that heard me on.
But
Tiger,
just, can we get back to
Tiger Belly?
It's not up to you to change what our community has created. Like you can't just.
it's not a community thing. I'm doing. I'm doing it.
Well, black people made up shout out.
They made up.
Yeah, we created shout out. Hey, I like to shout out. Blah blah blah
okay.
blah blah blah. And you
don't think there was no black people that heard somebody say shout out before?
No.
No. Not the town.
I mean,
the
we're
town
the masters
squire.
of pop culture.
What
man.
about the town squire? Who would have to give the news in the middle of the courtyard in Mario, England? And he was giving shout outs.
Why couldn't the squire be black?
There could be a few.
They were saying hear ye, not shout out. That's what we came up with shout out.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Of course you're gonna try to look that up and come up with some
I'll do my research.
But anyway.
Anyway, speaking of age, because we were gonna go in one other direction.
Yeah, but the whole thing.
Let's wrap that up. If you want to keep going, then that's fine.
I just find it. I see it. You called them lizard people. Getting back to that, but it's hard when you see people who are naturally beautiful in this industry beat your self-esteem down, where these people think they aren't beautiful enough or as beautiful as they used to be, or whatever it is.
I mean,
like,
look at the actresses from the past, dude. They just aged gracefully. You know what I mean?
Who was the lady who came out on the Oscars that one time and she was almost unrecognizable? Remember me and you talked about it?
Wasn't Jane Fonda, was it?
No, it was some other actress. She came out and her face could barely move, and like,
I know.
I just remember Twitter kind of like blew up when
that wasn't Meg Ryan.
No, it wasn't Meg. It was an older actress who came out and presented some award, and she was almost unrecognizable, and everyone, and it was like her mouth could barely move.
Yeah, well, you're not talking about what's her name from Bonnie and Clyde. When
was it her?
Gave the
I think it might have been
her. Faye Dunaway?
Was it Faye
Dunaway?
It might have been,
because she came out with what's when they flubbed the
when they
flubbed the thing with what was that movie, Midnight?
Yeah, I just remember one of those. It might have been her.
I think it was her too, because
no one recognized. There's like,
hadn't seen her in a long time.
Yeah,
and it's just like, you know what I mean?
And you know what, man? They need to do something with the neck. Like, you can't have a 20-year-old face with an 80-year-old neck.
They do have the surgeries now where they take care of the neck, but it seems like they're not spending the money on that, which is weird.
Yeah, maybe because I mean, if your face is like damn near
you always go
wrinkles,
to the neck.
And then you look at the neck, and they they got the turkey neck. It's like, dude,
yeah,
it's rough out here, man. It was Faye Dunaway. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, women are beautiful, and it's just unfair that the industry puts so much pressure on women. They put pressure on men too, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it just seems like there's so much pressure on women. It seems like they're on a clock to, where they feel like they're going to be put out to pasture.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Totally. And I always feel like some of those lucky guys, the guys the dudes who are able to be a little slobby,
mm-hmm.
I always go, what a great, like Jack Black, the Jack Blacks, these dudes they don't have to worry about losing any weight. Nobody wants to see them lose weight.
Yeah.
They want them a little out of shape.
Well, what's the guy who lost
Kevin
weight?
James.
Who used to work with, I think he was in the movie Superbad.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, like when he lost weight, man, people were upset about it.
Right.
Right. And from his perspective, he's probably like, dude, I want to live.
Yeah, I want to be healthy.
I want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And
he's made the transition. Everybody got used to it.
You think so? I still hear
people
people complain.
Oh, they're like, he's not the same.
I miss fat Jonah Hill. Like, I've heard people say that, But here's the thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about my health on the on the last episode.
Yeah.
And just keep taking care of your health in general. And thank God I'm healthy and doing well. And that was just a blip. But you really do have to take care of yourself as older as you get. Because I was telling one of my friends the other day, who's a big dude, like he's 300 plus. And I go, dude, you have no choice but to lose the weight. He's like, no, I need to do it. I go, just think about this, man. When have you ever seen somebody 70 years old and 300 pounds?
Yeah.
Like, from my experience, I've never seen somebody old and obese.
And if they are, they're usually confined to
a bed or something. But have you ever seen like a 300-pound 70-year-old? I don't think they exist.
It's very rare.
Yeah,
it's very rare.
And your body can't take that over a long period of time. So I just try to encourage him to make the change, to change the lifestyle, so to be alive for his kid.
Yeah. He has kids.
Yeah.
Oh, he has to start looking at
you have to, man, because you just can't continue the lifestyle and just like think that you can continue to abuse your body like that and your body's going to hold up. You only have one body. Yeah, and it's always sad, and me and you've talked about this, is there's sometimes in life where certain comics or people that we know pass away, and you're not surprised.
Yeah.
We all, I mean, I'm not even gonna name names, but there's certain comics that when they pass, it's almost like, oh, we knew it was coming. We just didn't know when.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to make those changes. And even with, people that we know that, are struggling with drug addiction and everything, we always dread, when are we going to log on to Instagram or Facebook and hear
see that
this person passed, because, no
that
one's
lifestyle.
saying anything, but the lifestyle, is going to end poorly, and it's kind of sad that, you just got to take care of yourself as you get older, and when it starts when you're younger. Yeah,
and that's a good lead in.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone like Andrew Luck,
29 years old.
29 years old. So what we were talking about before we even came on was that these athletes now are thinking long term down the road. Now they're going, man. These first of all, I get hearing him say what he had to say, and him going, man,
constant
injury. Yeah, dude. Like I kind of went, okay, yeah, that I kind of get. Yeah. Like he's too young to be going through all that, and he knows it's only going to be more. It's going to get more and more difficult each year as he gets a year older. And he's going to come into his 30s, dude. And
I know Emmitt Smith. One thing that he was passing on to younger athletes that would come to him for advice and stuff is he took a significant portion of his salary just in upkeep of his body. I can't remember the number, but it was some like crazy number. Like he spent X amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars a year out of his own pocket, separate from what the Dallas Cowboys did, just to get massages and different types of treatment.
I see.
So his body could recover. And look how long he played at the running back position in the NFL.
That's one of the shortest
careers.
Yeah.
The lifespan of a running back is very short.
Very short.
And this guy had longevity, dude, at that position, and somebody who carried the ball a lot. Like he was a workhorse.
Yeah.
Jim Brown retired from the league super early just for the wear and tear, and he wanted to do something else. He's like, I'm gone. Barry Sanders, I'm gone. Calvin Johnson recently, I'm gone.
I thought Barry was in it for a while.
Nah, Barry retired. He was,
I mean, how many years do you think he did? 12?
He could look. He could look it up. But Barry Sanders was damn near in his prime when he retired.
Oh, for some reason I felt like because he did so many spectacular things for so long that I felt like he was in there forever.
Oh, no, he was. He played a significant amount of time, but he definitely retired before he should have. Like, and this is no knock. I know the Cowboy fans are going to get upset, but Emmitt Smith would not be the all-time NFL leading rusher if Barry Sanders didn't retire. It was Barry Sanders' retirement that opened up the door for Emmitt Smith to become the NFL all-time
here's another
rusher.
thing too. Barry's yards, the majority of those yards were all on his own.
Dude.
And Dorsett had that front offensive line.
I mean, Emmett Smith.
I'm sorry, Emmett Smith.
Yeah,
Who did I say? Who did I say?
You said Dorsett.
Ouch. Emmett
Damn,
Smith.
dude. You
Emmett.
went back.
I went back. Damn.
Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett.
Who is struggling with headaches and stuff like that at one point.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks he might have CTE. I think on a report that I read a couple of years ago. But Emmett Smith, man, was a workhorse and had a lot of carries and still, was able to take care of himself to the extent, to extend his career. And somebody like Andrew Luck to be 29 and to just tap out. I don't know if a lot of people have dealt with constant pain. What that's like.
Right. Like, people are just like, you hear people, you see, suck it up, dude. You're 29. That's it, man. Like, dude, you deal with,
I'm grateful that a lot of guys that I played with have bad backs, from playing football, just the constant pounding. And I've been blessed enough not to have back issues. But every once in a while, you tweak your back and it's debilitating, dude.
Yeah.
Where I think I may have called you over the years. Like, I remember one time, I don't know if I slept wrong, but I woke up and I was like, I can't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
And a lot of athletes feel like that every week, every day. And the thing that bothers me is a lot of people complain saying athletes make too much money.
Right.
But it's weird, and I won't make this a racial thing, but you never really hear them saying that about actors and stuff like that. It's just like whenever black men are making, they're overpaid. They should just be happy. And it's like, dude, you're putting your body and your life on the line. There's people who've been paralyzed. There's people who've died, playing this sport.
Right.
And they only can make this certain amount of money in a limited period of time. Yeah. So they should be able to make as much money as they possibly can. And in the NFL, the contracts aren't even guaranteed. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's true.
So you're putting this wear and tear on your body. So when you hear somebody like Andrew Luck just going constant pain for 4 years, like, I can't do it.
And then all the amount of hours he's spending in rehab.
Yeah.
So he's like injury, rehab, recover, injury, rehab, recover.
Yeah.
It's just this vicious cycle. Who wants to live like that?
And Johnny, how about this? After you do recover and you're able to play again, just because you're able to play again doesn't mean you feel good. You know what I mean?
Or that you're going to do well either.
Yeah. It's like you might feel good enough to play, but do you feel normal? Rob Gronkowski, I don't know if you saw him yesterday or last week on SportsCenter when he talked about why he walked away from the game. He goes, just being in constant pain took his joy of life away.
And that's what,
where he's just going, and he got choked up, in the interview. Like Rob Gronkowski, the poster child of tough and rugged and just big, strong, fast. Like he's a specimen. Like this dude is, I don't even know how big Rob Gronkowski is, but I know he's 6'5" or something. He's a big, he might be 6'6", 6'7". Can you look that up? I know he's big, strong, and fast, like a tough guy. And here's somebody who's choking up. He retired young. He's another one who retired super young.
Yep.
And just saying that football was taking away the quality of life he wanted. And I've heard athletes also say that they want to be able to play with their kids. Yeah. When they retire, because they're retiring at 40, dude, or earlier. Most of them,
some of them,
and they have the body of a 60-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
He's
6'6", dude.
6'6",
What's his weight?
268.
6'6", 268, and fast, and had hands, and was physical. Just said,
but it's weird,
I'm done. He said, I'm done. And how old is he?
He is 30.
Oh yeah, see, but isn't it weird? I would always because
30 years old for those who couldn't hear.
It sort of goes back to the old side, sort of the old. Because I remember I would always go, God, this guy's hurt again. Because you just assume somebody who's that big is gonna get hurt less because you know what I mean. And yes, there's a lot of
big and strong,
But again, when you're that big, sometimes this is different. This is aside from obese, not on the obese end, but on the big, tall, muscular side, everything gets worked a little more, right? Yeah. And he had to be gang tackled. You know what I mean? I mean, he was going to get 3 dudes. Would have to get him down all the time. I was always surprised at how many injuries he's had. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, he's also moving that big we're like somebody like Antonio Brown, who's way smaller but
quick,
yet
fast,
has quick, fast, has had a career. What was the guy
he's on the outside too. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Of course.
So he's not getting that constant pounding.
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot like what was that? What was the receiver? He was actually kind of short too for the Panthers for years.
Oh, Steve Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a beast.
I mean, these guys are still getting hit either way, and they're smaller. But there's something about the smaller, compact. I don't know if there's anything to that, but Gronk, for being as big as he had so many injuries.
I think that I think your point is connected because the smaller you are, the further on the outside you're going to be, which is less contact.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
So it's like Gronk is a tight end who's almost, an extra lineman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
and he was
there.
a great blocker. He's just super physical. It's just, I heard somebody say the other day that even the athletes from, let's just say the 60s, 70s, 80s, they said they'll be on the sideline watching football today thinking to themselves, damn, I can't believe I used to play this sport. It's so violent.
Right.
And that's with all the rule changes and stuff too, because athletes are bigger. Like you got to think, dude. JJ Watt at his size to be that fast, Jadeveon Clowney to be that big at his size. Even Gronkowski back in the day, there's no way he would have been a tight end at 6'6".
Right.
He would have been a lineman.
On the lineman, defensive or offensive.
Yeah, he'd have been a defensive lineman.
The only difference, if you watch and I feel like it's really started to change in the late 80s and early 90s, but the only thing about the 60s and 70s is that they were actually tackling. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it was it was rougher because they were allowed to take shots and stuff like that.
Bonus, yeah.
But they were grabbing and taking the person down rather than launching their body. You know what I mean? So they're launching their bodies now. They're it's full on. I mean, it's 200 and some pounds together. They're going, nothing against the guys in the back in the past, because of course it was
they're just
rough.
Faster now. The velocity.
There you go.
Velocity.
That's what I was trying to find the right
velocity.
Wording.
Because there's always been big.
Yeah, of course.
But here's the thing, dude. It's so crazy. What was he used to play on the Carolina Panthers, and he ended up going to the Chicago Bears. He went to University of North Carolina. He played defensive end. He was a freak. And I'm not talking about Javon Curse, who they used to call the freak. But the reason why they called these guys freakish athletes is to be that big and to be able to run like a 4.5 or 4.4 at 6'6", 250 plus pounds is just insane. Where that didn't exist years ago. Guys weren't that big, running that fast, so the collisions are crazy.
Not only their speed, but their stamina.
Yes.
They're playing at that level for the whole game.
I'm trying to look. Yeah, the whole game. I'm trying to look up the Carolina, since Chris is busy. Carolina Panthers and
hey, need your key,
Mike. Oh, they need my keys.
Yeah, and your zipper's down again.
Well, it's hard to contain.
Oh God!
It has a mind of its own.
The pants?
No.
The zipper does?
No, I'm black, Mo.
Here we go.
Yeah, one stereotype that's true, Mo.
Oh, all of a sudden. This is the only true stereotype, though, Chris. Oh, interesting.
What was his name? He played for the Carolina Panthers, and then he got traded to the Chicago Bears.
And he's a defensive outside lineman? Or inside? Was he tackle or the defensive? I'm trying to blank.
It's going to try him again. He went to the University of North Carolina.
I mean, the white dude?
No, he was light skinned.
Oh.
Hold on. It's going to drive me crazy. Chicago Bears.
Oh, Denton?
No. It's going to drive me crazy. Defensive end.
Well,
there's somebody listening yelling out the name.
Yeah.
And Chicago Bears. Hold on. Chicago Bears.
I mean, From North Carolina, from the Panthers to the Bears. I mean, it's not.
Oh, that I did it. Yeah, he went.
All right.
And hold on.
No, we can just move on. I can't. It's too long already. We'll just.
Yeah, but anyway, we know
Yeah,
that these guys are just bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yeah.
But it tripped me out to hear Julius Peppers.
Oh gosh, of course.
Julius Peppers, dude.
Oh yeah,
that he was a specimen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god, he was so good.
He just big, strong, and fast.
Yeah. I remember.
I think he ran a 4.4 or 4.3. It's just crazy to be that big. So to hear all these great athletes, that are on NFL sidelines today and going, damn, dude, I can't believe we used to play the sport, and look how it's changed.
Yeah.
And as generations go on, like even if you look at baseball, how baseball has changed so much because a lot of these athletes are just bigger and stronger now with the home runs. And they were just talking about the other day, like a player like Ricky Henderson, who used to steal all those bases.
Yeah.
Like the top base stealer now doesn't even, steal that many bases. I think the leading base stealer in baseball right now has like 30 something. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Ricky Henderson used to steal for over 100 bases in a year. But that shows you how much the game has changed
and the arm of the catchers as well.
But what do you think it is, John? I even think about somebody like LeBron James. At his size, the reason why he's so special is because we've never seen an athlete like him before. I remember the first time Magic Johnson came onto the scene, everyone was like, yo, a 6'9" point guard.
Right.
It was just crazy to see, but he wasn't as fast or as athletic as LeBron. LeBron moves like a little guy.
Dude, I know.
Like a guard.
Yeah.
He moves like he's like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
And he's 6'9" or 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
No body fat.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I guess with technology and how things increase, it's just crazy to see like these athletes nowadays.
and we were talking about, speaking of football and the injuries, and they're trying to protect them now with the new helmets. And we were talking earlier about how your boy Antonio Brown wanted to keep the helmet that he's had for so many years.
Yeah.
And all through his NFL career and some in college and possibly high school and whatnot. And I'm, it just makes me think that maybe, because, for him, it's I think more of it is superstition than it is just visual, than his eyes. But still, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, or it's going to be a little different.
Yeah. And remember, me and you talked about this in terms of superstitions in comedy that you might have. Like, you was like, dude, I have to have a drink before I go on and this, that.
Right.
When
things go, when I'm late, or sometimes when I go with somebody else and then they're late or what.
And it takes you out of your routine.
Oh, it's amazing how different my show can be.
Yeah. Just because in your head, this is what you do to prepare for your thing.
Yeah.
So somebody like Antonio Brown, people are trying to criticize him like it's this little thing. It's like, no, dude, here's a guy who wasn't a first round pick. He was a late draft choice. I think he was a 6th round pick. Look that up, Chris. I think he was.
Please.
Hey, man, he knows.
I'm tired of it. Clean it up and pick up and throw away.
Did I tell him to do anything like that?
Well, that's how it sounds
to you in your misophonia.
Phone it. Thank you.
I didn't say it.
Okay.
All right. Jesus.
Are you starting to slump down? He's starting to slump down a little bit. Look.
My elbows. Can we just finish this?
Okay. Yeah. That's good. I want to finish it.
You can't even.
So Antonio Brown,
who wasn't a high draft choice.
Yeah.
Who's basically self-made in the NFL and became the best receiver in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that wearing this helmet. So in his head, he's like, yo, dude, let me keep to my routine that got me to where I am. And then all of a sudden the NFL, for good reason, is going, hey, dude, can't wear that helmet anymore. And he's like, no, I'm wearing this helmet. I've been wearing this helmet before I even came
But
into the NFL.
You know what's I know, but you know what's so funny about the timing could not
be
be
worse.
worse.
Yeah, for his feet
Because
and all that stuff.
Well, no, because of course this is all happening when he comes over to the Raiders.
Of course.
And what if he ends up 8 catches
Don't even
for
say that. No.
79
He's gonna have a great
yards
year.
for
He's
the
gonna have a-
season?
He's going to have a great year. Stop saying
That's
that.
for
He's
the
gonna-
season.
He's going to have a great
Yeah.
year.
He was selected in the 6th round,
I was right.
190th overall.
190th pick.
Yeah.
195th, I'm sorry.
195th pick and has become the best
Yeah.
receiver in the NFL.
So yeah, but
arguably.
but it almost.
But his numbers say he's the best receiver.
Let's just say I was a sports conspiracy theorist.
As most Raider fans are.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we all know
so-
how Davis pissed off the league, man,
Yeah.
and the league had it in for the Raiders.
It just
That's no
looks like,
secret.
oh, this is mandatory with the helmets now. As Antonio Brown it wants to use his helmet, now he can't. And now, of course, I don't know. I was already just going, oh, you got to be kidding me. But then again, there had to have been other athletes. Let's go back. I'm sure there's one guy going, no way, coach. I'm wearing my leather helmet. I'm not, that plastic thing's noisy. Right? Somebody said that. Somebody's like,
Oh,
I'm not putting on a
sure.
plastic helmet. I'm not putting
I'm
plastic on my head and I'm going to sweat more. I want my leather helmet. You can't have your leather helmet. All right. And then
But
they
there's
get
probably,
the
there's
mask.
probably with the guy with no teeth going, give me the helmet and the face bar.
And then they start coming up with the mask. Somebody's
Yeah.
going, hey, can I just get the one with the one bar across? Well, you're a defensive lineman. That's probably not the smartest idea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then this is something Antonio Brown's
evolution, man.
Yeah, it's happened.
evolves.
He'll get used to it. But the only thing is, I wish he would have just had this helmet during all of training. He didn't have the new helmet through training, right?
No.
And the preseason.
Well, you know, he was out because of his foot injury from the cryotherapy
that's
that
right.
he did.
That's right.
That's when he was kind of fighting the helmet battle during that time. So
Because I hate
he's going to be fine.
The fact that he's got to kind of get used to it once the season starts.
It's just a mental block he has to get over. I think it's for someone who used to drink all the time before they perform.
Correct.
And
You
then they
just get
stop
over it.
drinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I have to learn how to do this sober. And like we said on a previous episode, I'm just grateful because I can have an addictive personality with certain things, especially if things go well. It's easy for me to break them. I'll just really sit down and meditate and focus on common sense. Like, Ruben, it isn't this that makes you this.
Mm-hmm.
It's in you. It's your talent. It has nothing to do with,
Of course.
the tequila or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Now,
or the blue magic.
the blue motherfucking magic.
Oh, well, who's that? Is
That's
that
me.
an Afro-American or who?
Whoa.
What happened?
Whoa.
What happened right there?
That's your friend. Your
Oh,
black
okay.
friend.
Oh,
Ruben.
okay.
That's
Just
who it
checking.
was.
I'm just checking on that hip hop talk.
I can't hip hop talk, really. You sound like a 60-year-old white guy. What's that hippity hop talk over there? Speak the Queen's English, please.
Oh,
please.
God, come
Oh.
on.
I know, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
my
all you
favorite.
do.
What? I don't make fun of.
Yeah. I'd be funny if you're like, that's not even Mexican. That's my Scottish accent.
Yo, I had this guy from Croatia at the show last week. It was just funny to do his accent, and he was laughing. I go, man, how does it feel to have the accent of a movie villain? Like,
Oh, he had that.
yeah,
yeah.
the American. He had that all that.
Oh, that's how the Croatians have that. That's Slavic, right?
That's
That's
Slavic.
Slavic.
Like,
I must break you.
I must
Something.
break you.
Yeah.
In the movie with Liam Neeson where I have a
yeah.
particular set of skills. And
Yeah.
what was that movie?
Um,
Movie was good. They did like 3 of
yeah,
them. Right?
the Taken.
Taken movie.
Taken.
Good job, Sanchez. All right.
Shit, dude. Come
All
on.
right,
Don't get me started on movies, man. I know my movies.
Yeah, we got to do it. We definitely have to do a movie episode. But getting back to the whole health thing and Andrew Luck making the choices and a lot of these people retiring, so early, it kind of gets back to the point of, especially in football, like these athletes deserve every penny that they get. Man.
Right. Yeah.
Every penny that
Because
they get.
people have to understand. It's like if they came out of college and then they're going to start working somewhere, but they don't know how long. The contracts aren't for sure, and they may be only working for 10 years.
Yeah, and
you got to make that go. And I will say this much though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering if he's going to get into being a commentator.
Broadcasting. He's so knowledgeable. Quarterbacks are really good. I know,
but he's got a funny voice. You know, he's got that.
Yeah, he does.
It's like gurgle. It's like a Muppet or something.
Well, I'm just gonna.
Yes, and I don't know how that's gonna play.
I really love this game, but my teammates.
Yes, yeah. It's just weird sounding. It could be my misophonia.
Yeah,
but it drives me crazy.
You're right. You make him sound like an alien.
Injury rehab.
You know what just popped into my head? Eep, op, or eep, op, or what
was that?
What cartoon was that? That means I love you. Remember?
I do. That sounds
was that
so
the Jetsons? Or the Flintstones?
That wasn't the little Martian on the Flintstones, was it?
I don't know. It was just some.
Remember the little guy that would float?
Oh, Kazoo.
Kazoo. Damn.
We on
Kazoo.
it. Man, Kazoo used to make me laugh.
Kazoo.
I used to call it Comic Kazoo because he had a big ass head. I was like, this motherfucker look like Kazoo. If you don't know who Kazoo is, Google Kazoo Flintstones.
Google Kazoo.
Yeah.
Guess what I did find? There was a.
Could you imagine him trying to get fitted for a helmet? Yo, Kazoo.
Sorry, Kazoo.
He's not a real person.
No, I know. No, I'm not saying they would. They would.
Oh, they would
him.
say sorry, Kazoo.
Sorry, Kazoo. But do you remember there was a group of? This was an anime, and this was like early 80s, dude. It was one of the early anime cartoons. The group was called G-Force.
I remember G-Force.
Yeah, G-Force. It was a guy. There was a heavy guy named Tiny. They had the two cool guys, and there was one guy. The little guy, his name was Keop, and I never forget how when he would talk, he would have to do these clicks and noises first. So they'd go, Keop, what's our range right now? And he'd go, not looking good. And then now, all these years later, that's how Bobby Lee talks.
That's his regular voice.
Regular talking.
Oh.
Beep, bop, beep, boop, boop. He does that on his podcast. That's his
Bobby,
intro.
Man.
He's a beep, beep. I'm like, all right, we got Keop here from 1980.
But getting back to the point, I just think these athletes deserve every dime. And these actresses and actors, like, there's not, a lot of security
right.
in this industry.
And also, we always have to explain to people who don't understand. They're like, what? Well, he's getting $9 million a show.
And then, and then
$9 million a movie, whatever.
And they're not going to do that forever.
And it's 10% for the agent, 10% for the manager.
And sometimes
lawyers,
more for the manager. Sometimes 15 or 20. I've heard people paying 20%, which is ridiculous.
Then you've got your lawyers, 5 to 10 there. You've got your publicist. You have now and it goes on and taxes. And taxes.
Taxes is the major one.
So somebody's going, oh, he just made $9 million on that movie. Well, he brought home 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He brought home 3. I mean,
And
it's got to last them.
And not to get morbid, Junior Seau killed himself.
Yeah.
Which was directly attributed
to his, because he donated his brain.
Yeah, from CTE.
Yeah, for CTE.
So you got these people, man, that's putting their lives on the line, literally putting their lives on the line every week. And as athletes, in football, contracts not guaranteed, but even in the NBA and baseball, like even baseball has more longevity, of course.
Yeah.
But still, man, they don't get to play professional sports for 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the NBA, man, it's huge when somebody hits that 20-year mark.
Oh, geez,
20 years.
Long,
Can you imagine retiring? Your career is over. What you've been doing all of your life is over at 40 years old.
Yeah.
You're done.
That's crazy.
Your dream is done at 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. From childhood.
And then even in acting, this is not guaranteed. How many times we've seen one-hit wonders, in music. We've seen actors get hot and then just disappear.
Yeah.
So it's like when you make your money, You know, we always hear stories about people going broke and not investing well, or whatever. And you're giving all this money to kids a lot of times, especially in sports. You're becoming a millionaire at 20 years old, 21 years old.
Yeah, man.
You go from sleeping on a futon to here's a $10 million signing bonus, a $20 million signing bonus. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, we've talked about this coming from certain,
upbringings
and everything.
No financial abilities.
Yeah.
You know, they've never been given anything. They don't know any.
They don't know how to handle it because they grew up poor. There's no next door neighbor that's an accountant or a financial advisor or anything like that. So I just say, we should focus on ourselves and what we do and how we make money, and not disparage anybody else from making a living and hating on them because they make a certain amount of money, because you don't know the journey and what people go through. To look at the sacrifices you have to make we talked about some of it, like, people, doing drastic things to their face to try to, squeeze out more years to look a certain way or to do this or that. And just the sacrifices you make in this industry as far as family and the travel and what you got to dedicate and the wear and tear on you mentally, because our business is mostly rejection, even at the highest levels. It's a lot of rejection, too young, too old, too fat, too dark, too skinny, too white, too black, too this, too that. It's like on a daily basis. Most people couldn't put up with that type of scrutiny on a daily basis. They get mad when they get written up at work. Yeah. Imagine you showed up to work and your boss goes, "You're fat and I don't like that outfit." It's like, okay, can I work today? So I don't know. I just and
I think the fans have to just give Luck a break too, man. Like they need
they booed him, man.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like get off his back, man. Like the dude can do it. And like he said, like you said earlier about the love of life, he was like, the pain has made me not love the sport anymore. I don't have the love for it.
He said he didn't love the sport anymore. Gronkowski said it was taking away his joy for life. For life. Yeah. Just living life. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, he used to play for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, man. The wear and tear on his body. It's like, especially, these guys got to be looking at their bank accounts going, I invested well, like the smart ones. Yeah. It's like, I don't need to put my body on the line anymore. Andrew Luck has made a lot of money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where he can now enjoy his kids and his wife and not be in pain. And maybe he's going to feel good one day. And he's still young, so he might come back, just like they're saying about Gronkowski. He might come back, as he starts to feel good. But like he said, physically he's feeling good, but mentally he doesn't know if he can come back and dedicate that. We're not even talking about working out. We're talking about injuries. We're not even talking about the soreness from just working out and running and doing those things, and then trying to maintain a normal life with a girlfriend or a wife and kids and all that stuff while you're trying. Like it's not easy, man. So, if you're blessed enough to be an ability to be a professional athlete, which is a small segment of our population, not everybody gets to be a professional athlete. Yeah. And that's one thing that even in the inner city, we had to start talking to kids about. Like, I know you look at it as your way out, but your chances are very slim. You know what I mean? Even your chances, I think me and you talked about the amount of actors in SAG that actually work.
Oh yeah,
the percentage.
We should get that. We should find out that
number. I know it changes, but I know it's like it's less than 20%. Like it's really low.
It's very low. It's very low, man.
And there's thousands and thousands of actors in SAGs, but only a small percentage work. So it's a blessing to be able to work and to have a career. Yeah. So make as much money as you possibly can. And give these athletes and these actors a break. I know you're just looking at it from a perspective of, they have money and you don't have as much money and you, quote, do honest work. And I'm not saying that the work that they're doing, people try to discount it as it not being important, but we know how music can uplift your spirit. Yeah. We know how a good movie or a good comedy show, and I feel like we do provide a valuable service. Absolutely. When people buy a ticket and they're depressed, like someone could have just lost a family member, someone could be dealing with some type of illness or sickness or got some bad news or a bad diagnosis, and they come to a comedy show to want to laugh and have a good time to alleviate that. So I don't discount. I know sometimes comedians and different artists try to be humble, like, we don't do real work. The people who are doing that.
Yeah.
And I do get that sentiment.
Sure.
There are people who are working hard, and it is hard physical labor, but it doesn't discount what our comedy can do for people. I'm sure you've gotten emails.
Yeah.
And I've gotten
People
emails from people just
thank
going,
you.
hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
Going
I
through
was
this,
down. I was going
yeah.
through this, and that joke you do, I listen to it all the time, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And that makes you feel like, wow, I'm doing something. And even these athletes, they provide an escape for people on the weekends to come see them beat the shit out of each other. Boxers, all these different athletes,
MMA.
for entertainment.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the gladiator
Yeah, the
days,
Romans
where
and
people were
yeah.
dying
Yeah.
for entertainment.
Yeah.
You
I would
know?
have liked to have seen the lion and the bear fights, though.
That would
have
be
been
interesting.
Yeah.
A
Apparently the bears that was more dominant a bear against the lions.
Really?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, because
They
of their
get
height.
hind legs they can use it, and they're just so big and powerful that sometimes apparently I don't know what I saw on these history and documentaries on all that, but that sometimes the bears would sometimes a swipe was almost enough.
I know, with those claws, man.
The claws,
Claws
dude.
could cut you in half.
And they're just
man.
so big and fast, and so kind of
Which
wish we could have witnessed some of that.
So all the PETA people out here.
Oh yeah,
that's
they're our new sponsor.
Johnny Sanchez. I do not want to see animals kill each other.
There are actually, we want to give a whisper out to PETA, our new sponsors.
No,
they're not.
No.
Oh, it's the PETA bread place.
Okay.
Anyway, whisper out to PETA bread. They're sponsoring our.
But yeah, man. So be supportive, guys. You're spending money. These athletes and these actors and entertainers deserve every dime that they get, because it's more sacrifice that goes into it that you might not even realize. And for them to be in pain is just I felt for him, dude.
Yeah. That was
And
tough.
I'll be honest, when he first kind of announced it, I did have like, he's soft. I did feel that. But then to hear him speak,
when he talked about it,
I'm just like, you know what? It is different.
Yeah.
And dude, me and you both know what it's like to be in pain. Imagine as an athlete to be in that type of pain, constantly, pain pills and all these other things that can transpire that we've seen people become addicted, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a lot. So show some compassion, but
and I'm sure he'll be fine.
That's Johnny's.
He's got minor cerebral.
Andrew Luck.
But, a lot of stuff.
But anyway, thank you for listening to the best of everything. Tomorrow night at Ruby Tuesdays, we have a great show. We have my dear friend Ida Rodriguez. You can see her on our Netflix special. They Ready that Tiffany Haddish produced. She'll be on the show. Fortune Feemster, another very funny comic, is going to be on the show. And we got some
great if her nickname was Cookie.
Okay. Anyway, and we have some other surprises on the show tomorrow, but it's going to be
I might even
night.
pop in and do my Portuguese stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, Johnny might be on the show, but
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. So Ruby Tuesdays every Tuesday night, Hollywood Laugh Factory, 9:30 p.m. And come check us out. And you could listen to this show on iTunes,
Spotify,
Google Play,
YouTube,
and wherever else you can get
Swap Meet. Yeah.
And wherever else you can listen to podcasts.
Podcast platforms.
So I'm Ruben Paul.
Johnny Sanchez.
And we out.
Whisper out.
Shout out.
Whisper out.
Shout out.
Whisper.
Shout. Whisper. Shout out.
Whisper.
Shout out.
Whisper.
Shout out. Shout out. We out. Shout. Shout.
Ruby motherfucking Tuesdays.
This show is all about diversity and bringing everyone together. never know who you're gonna see at Ruby Tuesday.